What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with a new season of Marriage Bootcamp Hip Hop Edition, Season 18, Episode 1. The episode was titled Lovers on Lockdown, you guys. So, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and are not subscribed to the channel yet, no, excuse me, I didn't mean to burp your face. I mean, you guys are doing me a big solid favor. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button so you guys are notified when I drop anything else. Share the video, and with that out of the way, guys, let's go ahead and discuss Marriage Bootcamp Hip Hop Edition, shall we? All right, you guys. So we got to talk about this, right? So the couples, they're in a hotel room. They're quarantined with each other for 14 days. So we'll talk about our couples. Two of these couples this season, I think, are just there for the show. And I'll tell you guys in a little bit who I think those couples, who I think those two couples are, right? So we have Miles and Amber. We guys remember them from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Season 2. When Miles and Amber came on, they were a couple. And Miles came out as bisexual. He was in the relationship with Milan. You all know the situation between Miles and Milan. How toxic that was, right? So then we also have Treasure P and Molly Mom. So Treasure is most notably known from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And I recently saw her on the show on WeTV, the show Beyond the Pole. And then Molly Mall, we know him from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood with that love triangle between him, Masika, and Miss Nikki Baby. And then we also have Moni Love and her guy, Tough. And then the last couple that we have is going to be Noriega and his wife Neri, which we also know from Love and Hip Hop Miami. Now, I do remember seeing on the blogs a few months ago that Tiara Marie was supposed to be on Marriage Bootcamp. So I'm wondering if it's going to be a later season that she's going to show up on. But those are the couples, right? And like I said, they were quarantined for 14 days before they moved into the boot camp mansion, right? So the first couple that we were introduced to was Miles and Amber. Now, once again, I told you guys, Miles and Amber's situation is the fact that Miles is bisexual, and I guess Amber doesn't feel secure in a relationship. She feels as if because he's bisexual, she has to also, you know, if I go out, I don't necessarily just have to worry about him looking at women. I have to worry about him looking at men. So I don't think she's just as comfortable as she says about Miles' sexuality, right? Now she says that Miles says he is no longer into men. I was like, Allah, I don't care who tell her. Like, who told you that? Like, bisexual, right? So we all know what bisexual means. Bisexual means that you like both sexes, men and women, right? So that's not something that I think you can turn on and off, right? You're always going to be attracted to what you're attracted to, right? But if you're in, we'll talk about that. We'll actually dig deeper into that, right? But he says he's no longer into men. I don't believe it. So then we meet Moni Love and Tough. Moni Love and Tough, there's a 12-year age difference between them, right? And their issue is the fact that he's a cheater, pumpkin eater, basically, when it comes to her. And we're going to talk about him a little bit more as well. Then next was Treasure and Molly Mall. So Treasure and Molly's issue is the fact that they're a long distance couple. And I'm like, did you see him on his season of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood? He was living in Vegas. He was with Masika, but he was still in a relationship with Miss Nikki Baby. But okay, guess you didn't see that, right? But they've been off, and they met each other in 2017. And at this point, they've been off and on since 2017. If you guys have been off and on that long, why are y'all still together? We're going to talk about it. And then the last couple was Nori and Neri, right? Nori and Neri still have the same issue that they have on Love and Hip Hop Miami. The fact that he has this antiquated, outdated views on what a man should do and what a woman should do, right? Also, let's go back to Amber and Miles, right? Amber doesn't want her family and friends to know that they fuck on the law. I'm like, okay, but y'all are on TV telling us. I'm pretty sure your family knows now, but I guess go off. Let's move on. All right, you guys. So the boot campers go out and they meet with Dr. Ish. So what they're going to do is they're going to play a game. It's called Marriage Bootcamp Daters Game. So this game is just to see how much the couples know about each other, right? So at first they play some basic trivial questions like, where is the most outrageous place you've had sex at? Where was your first kiss at? Stuff like that. And then they dug deeper into the questions, right? Speaking of, I got 2 likes from Judge Lynn Toler, 2 likes from her, and 1 comment from her. Marriage Bootcamp liked one of my tweets, but I tweeted this, right? And this is the one that Judge Lynn Toler tweeted me back on. Amber, did you guys notice that the whole episode, Amber, they were blurring a less bit. They were blurring out her breast, right? I was like, what the hell does she have on? And Judge Lynn told her, like, she said everything was out, that they had to make it family friendly. I'm like, girl, why would you go, like, if you guys have relationship issues, right? This is really not helping, right? You have an issue with him because you don't know if he's looking at men or women, but you putting your goodies out there for everyone to see. Just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, right? So yeah, they played the game, right? So Molly Mall said the dumbest thing that I've ever heard in my life, right? He says he does the manly stuff. He wants her to do the womanly things. Like, if I pay for the gas, I want you to pump it. I'm like, what constitutes manly versus womanly? Like, some of these guys are giving male chauvinist. Some of these guys are definitely giving a male chauvinistic vibe, and I'm not feeling it already. The 2 guys that are definitely giving male chauvinist, Nori, which I do like Nori, and Molly. Molly Mall, I mean, when you look at Molly Mall, he really does look like Uncle Fester. Like, he looks like Uncle fucking Fester. So then Amber says that, so Amber keeps saying that she doesn't have an issue with the fact that Miles is bisexual, but she does say that she feels that if he wants to be with her, then he shouldn't be bi anymore. I'm like, once again, Amber, that's not necessarily how that works. Like, you can be bisexual, but if you're in a monogamous relationship, be it straight or gay, if you're in a monogamous relationship with a person, then, like, if you're in a monogamous relationship and it's just you two with each other, then there's no reason for you to be worried about your partner being bisexual. That just means that your partner likes both sexes. That doesn't necessarily mean that your partner is going to act on that if you guys are in a monogamous relationship. That's why I don't. So this is one of the couples that I don't believe is really a real couple, right? So he ended up leaving, right? And he started, Dr. Ish went in behind him talking to him, and Miles is crying because of the fact that Amber is the person that he came out to, and just to hear all this stuff coming from her, it's hurtful, which I can only imagine, right? I can really only imagine. But we're going to pause here and we're going to move forward. Actually, we're going to probably wrap up, but we're going to move forward. All right, you guys. So let's talk about Nori. So Nori feels that since he pays the bills, which we heard him say, we've heard this on Love and Hip Hop Miami, right? Nori feels that since he pays the bills, that his job is done. I'm like, no, dude. That's kind of like with Marceau on Love and Marriage Huntsville, right? Marceau believes that since he does so much, that, Tisha should stay at home with the kids, and Nori feels the same way. And once again, we got to get out of that whole idea, that whole notion that there are roles that the man handles and there are roles that the woman handles. The only role that men and women, like, actually there's no roles really and truly. And what I'm going to say is, like, when it comes to women having kids and giving birth to kids, right? The only role that a woman typically really plays is if she breastfeeds. That's the only thing. If a woman wants to breastfeed, she is the sole person that can feed that child the breast milk, right? a man can't feed a child breast milk. But other than that, there's no roles when it comes to what happens in the relationship. Oh, I'm the man, so I go out and work every day and make the money, bring it home to you. You cook the bacon, you clean, you wash the dishes, you wash the clothes, you take care of the kids. No, like I told you guys before about my grandmother. My grandmother, I believe before my grandfather passed away, she was like a stay-at-home mom. But once my grandfather passed away in a car accident, my grandmother then went into the workforce to take care of her kids. So there are no true roles for a man and a woman. And my grandmother never remarried. So there's that. So Tough. I like Tough, but damn, dude, you literally... So Moni was pregnant with their child, right? And while she was pregnant, Tough decided that he was going to go out and cheat on her because he couldn't have sex with her. I'm like, dude, you got her pregnant, and obviously something that you both agreed on, but now that she's pregnant and you can't have sex with her like you want to, you then go out and cheat on her? How does that make sense? Like, it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, right? Like, you picked the most inopportune time to go and cheat on your woman while she's pregnant with your child. Terrible, right? So they tell them about the rooms, right, that they'll be having. Somebody's gonna be in train wreck station. I'm like, hell, they're all train wreck stations. So train wreck station, Petty Palace, I believe one was Cheaters something. All the rooms are in control center or something like that. So Treasure and Molly were in the control room. Trainwreck was Miles and Amber. The petty room was Nori and Neri, and then the cheaters room was Moni and Tough, right? Now, before they got into their rooms, they went and they sat at the table and they started eating, right? Now, I don't know what you know what? I'm not even gonna put blame on him, right? Because we don't, when it comes to women, we don't say what did the woman do when they're abused. So I'm not gonna place blame on Miles. So Miles then was sitting at the table, and Amber flipped his hat off, threw a drink in his face, and slapped his head. I'm like, that's abusive. And you guys remember what happened last season with Vado and Tahiri, right? When Tahiri was actually abusing him, they never said anything to Tahiri. But when Vado abused her, yoked her up, they got him out the house, which I did agree with that, right? But I just didn't agree with them not saying anything to Tahiri when she was being abusive towards him. But now they're saying something to Amber, but I'm like, really? It just looks like to me, from my point of view, you guys could agree or disagree, right? But it just looks like to me when the women abuse the men, they will say that, well, now they're saying something to Amber, but they're not having that. Because I mean, she threw shit at him and she slapped him. Like, that's abusive. Like, y'all, I'm not saying that she should have been kicked out of the house but I did tweet that this is going to get worse over the next 10 days. Like, I just feel like the things with Miles and her are going to get worse before they even get better. And I think they could have just went a little bit harder at her, right? So then at the dinner table, Treasure starts crying, and I'm like, what are you crying about? And she was slurring her words. I was like, oh my God, what the hell is she talking about? And then she went into their bedroom where she and Molly was, right? Molly's not feeling this situation, which I don't understand why, but he's not feeling it for some odd reason. So then Dr. Ish came in there, talked to them. Once he talked to them, he left. And then Treasure, so obviously whatever she has on, either she has some panties on, she might have a thong on or what, but whatever it is, she is on the bathroom door, and looked like she was grinding on the door, and she was screaming, yelling. I'm like, girl, what are you doing? And she was also slurring. I'm just like, okay, this is going to be a long 10 episodes. I mean, not 10 episodes, but this is going to be a long 10 days. But it's going to be 10, but it probably will be 10 episodes, right? 10 weeks, right? It's going to be a long time. But that's it, you guys. Let me know what you thought about the first episode. Leave your comment. Oh, I forgot. I didn't tell you guys. So the two couples that I think are just literally there for show is going to be Miles and Amber, as well as Treasure and Molly. I just don't get the sincerity from them. And I even tweeted about with Amber and Miles. I just don't get any kind of chemistry from them. I get the homey vibe from them. Let me know what you guys feel. But that's it, you guys. Leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell button so you guys are notified when I drop anything else. Share the video, and until the next one, stay safe, take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, wear your mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'm going to catch you guys later. Bye, guys.